One night after the Indiana Pacers showed us how not to close out a series at home, the Eastern Conference stage belonged to the Miami Heat on Wednesday. After riding LeBron's 49 to a Game 4 win in Brooklyn and a 3-1 series lead, the reigning champs back in their house looking to cut down the Nets in Game 5 and make their way to the conference finals for the 4th straight year. But this one would not be easy against Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce and the guys from Brooklyn. LeBron coming off that 49, and it was D. Wade who had the 20-point first half for Miami. Looking good.
He played well in the first half.
Deron Williams, 3.
Brooklyn really competed in this game.
Yeah,
they just didn't have enough firepower.
Up 7 at the half.
Then LeBron, man.
LeBron
What a pass.
to D. Wade.
What a
Yes, he
pass.
did. Cuts the lead to 6. LeBron ahead of the pack.
Like those breaks, Ernie?
Yeah, that's not bad. They're down 3.
Tell you what, Joe Johnson, that's not him, right?
No, but watch him right here, man. He's working the offensive glass.
Joe Johnson was huge tonight.
They're up 9 after 3. Trying to send this thing back to Brooklyn for a Game 6.
That was just bad defense right there.
You don't double that man and leave LeBron open.
The guy was like falling down and you went to double him.
So they're down 75-72.
Oh.
Paul Pierce had 19. They maintain the lead. 4th quarter. Joe Johnson doing work.
He did. You know, I give Kenny some credit. You know, they don't put LeBron on him to the 4th quarter, but Joe had already lit the house on fire the first half.
He had a 34-point night, 15 out of 23.
Kenny, when the house on fire, what you got to do?
Oh, get the women and children out. You know, the one thing that Joe Johnson is great at, and right here in the middle of the floor, but when he got to the end of the game, he was coming from right to left, and he had so much difficulty getting his shot off. But in the middle of the floor, and I thought that was the biggest mistake that the Nets made with Jason Kidd, is not putting in the middle of the floor, putting him on the sideline on the isolation, and LeBron had the inline to help defensively.
When they were down 91-83, Miami responded with a 12-0 run.
That was a foul way before that. He bumped him twice.
One thing you can never do is relax against Miami, because this will happen.
Yeah.
Ray
This man
Allen.
right here, bam!
I don't understand why you run at Mario Chalmers and leave the greatest three-point shooter in history open.
And so Miami reclaiming the lead. Allen hit a couple of free throws after this Sean Livingston miss. So they had a 95-91 lead. Joe Johnson, corner 3.
Great ball movement right there. They still have a shot.
1-point game. LeBron at the line.
Uh-oh.
The second, yes, 2-point lead.
This is one of the worst offensive plays out of a timeout I've ever seen.
See here, too much traffic, couldn't get his shot off, gave it to Paul Pierce, goes out of bounds, looks like it's off of Paul, but the rule states if you hit the hand, but it goes off.
The call on the floor was it's still Nets ball.
And yeah, it's still Nets ball.
So then they reviewed it and they affirmed it and said, okay, Brooklyn, still your ball.
But Ernie, I didn't understand why.
No, but he's pointing the other way, Ernie.
Oh, that's real. That first official did, but the word at the table was no. The ruling is Brooklyn ball, and then they looked at the.
But Ernie, I did not
This play right here, Kenny, I felt he should have drawn and kicked on that play.
Yeah, but like I said, having him on that sideline was not great. The help can't come. The help can't come. I think you can see the floor better. Tough loss. I don't know if Nets would have pulled the series off, but they would have sent it back to.
But I don't understand why in the last few seconds why they were going for 3. They were only down 2, and you could tell out of the out of bounds play they were going for 3. But this was a game clincher. You don't try to go for the win. I mean, they went 2 times out of bounds. You could tell they were going for 3s.
96-94. Miami to the Eastern Conference Finals for the 4th straight year, getting 29 from LeBron, 28 from D. Wade, 16 from Bosh, 13 from Allen, including that huge 3. Post-game report coming to us from Rachel Nichols.
Standing here with Ray Allen, who took a swipe at that this ball right here toward the end of the Nets' last possession prevented them from getting off their final shot, and you're not letting that go.
No, I got it. I got it. It's something that we didn't do a great job of all night. Joe was tough tonight. He isoed our guys, and he made shots over top of us all night, and we didn't have an answer for him until that last possession.
Now, you've hit a lot of big threes in your career, including one right in this building to help save the NBA Finals last year, but the one you hit tonight wasn't so bad either. Did you know it was good as soon as it left your hands?
I was waiting for a second when Mario had the ball. His feet were kind of tangled, and I was hoping he threw it, and he kind of threw it last minute, and I was ready. I don't think I made a three tonight until that moment, and you just, fourth quarter comes, you got to be ready at any given moment.
Down the stretch, with about 2 or 3 minutes left, I think we had like a 7 to 10 point lead. Just playing too cautious, playing against the clock, not being aggressive, making plays, letting the clock get down to like 5 or 3, and then taking tough shots. So we made it hard on ourselves.
We needed stops down the stretch. We didn't get them. We needed rebounds. We gave up offensive rebounds. Things sometimes have to go perfect when you play against the best team in the NBA. And, we almost put together a perfect game, but we came up short.
Do you still want to play? Though you have a couple more seasons, you think you need to play?
Yeah, I think I still have something in the tank I can give a team. So, maybe 1 or 2 at the most. And let's see where I'm at.
Ray isn't going to take any glee in knocking this team out of the playoffs. Will you guys take any satisfaction for him that he was able to do that?
Go ahead. No, we're just excited that we're able to move on.
And move on they do to take on either Indiana or Washington. They split the season series with both. Home team won every game in both of those regular season series. And so we await the winner of that Indiana-Washington series. And the next game in that one is Thursday night at the phone booth in Washington. So, last 2:49 of that game, 13-3 finish for the Heat. They outscore in their wins. They outscore Brooklyn by 32 points in the fourth quarter in their 4 wins. Assess the Heat for me right now as they aim for a three-peat.
I don't think they're the favorite. I think LeBron has to do too much for this team to win. He is amazing, but now they're playing against the best teams now, and he has to play at such a high level. You think about it, Ernie. Michael Jordan's the greatest I've ever seen. Larry Bird was great. Magic Johnson was great. Scottie Pippen was a great player. Shaq was a great player. Kenny was a good player. Everybody. I've never seen in my 30 years in the NBA a star have to do as much. He's their best rebounder. Michael Jordan didn't have to be the best rebounder. He didn't get all the assists. But LeBron has to get all their rebounds. He has to score most of their baskets. He's their assist leader. And he has to guard the other team's best player. We've never had a player in the NBA who was under that much pressure.
Do you think I agree with you that he has he takes a big load and takes a big responsibility load. But I also think that in that responsibility load that he's taking, that some of it still can be delegated.
Like what?
I think that Chris Bosh can do it. However, LeBron in his abilities takes over. I think that Dwayne Wade can do it in moments, but he takes over. So I think those 3 together still are a potent force. And I think because those other 2 guys still allows him to grow as a player. I do think that he has a big load. I don't think they're the favorite. I do agree with you on that. I don't think they're the favorite. I think the best team, to me, in the playoffs have been the San Antonio Spurs. And I don't see anything.
Have you ever seen a star has to do as much for his team?
I've seen a star do as much for his team.
Like who?
But it wasn't always as necessary as LeBron's. But, when Hakeem had those runs, when Shaq had those runs.
But he wasn't y'all leading assist guy. He didn't guard the other team's best player.
He led us in about 6, 7 categories.
I know that, but I'm talking about LeBron is there.
But he didn't do it throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
Right, for 82 games and the playoffs, no.
But
LeBron does it for 82 in the playoffs.
yeah, but the more he dominates, it makes it easier for his teammates to shine. You know, I always go back to Mike Miller hitting 8 and 6 threes. That's because of LeBron's dominance. And so, you know, LeBron is like a dominant big man. Like you need 4 or 5 guys to pay attention. You just can't say Charles, Kenny, guard LeBron. You gotta help defense. You gotta collapse. And when you do that, the great player that he is, he
So that goes back to go ahead, Ernie.
But in this series, LeBron's their leading scorer, Wade's their leading assist man, Bosh is their leading rebounder.
This is not a
In this series,
What I'm saying,
against Brooklyn.
this wasn't a good team. I'm talking about when they play against really good teams, LeBron's gonna have to play up here. But that goes. Let me ask you that same question I asked you last night, because I was thinking about this. And I've been getting ready for the next series. When I asked you, do you let LeBron get X amount of numbers, whether they astronomical? Because even the game he had 49, it was still a tight game. But do you let him get his numbers, let the guys beat him up, wear him down, or you let Battier and those other guys get going for threes? I asked y'all that question.
Yeah, I would let him get his because, you know, we thought they were out of it. But again, when you double when you're not supposed to, that's when you leave Ray Allen open. That's when you leave Chris Bosh open in the corner. So I would say LeBron, get 50. And if you do it once, guess what? You got to do it again.
4 times.
You got to do it 4 times because, you know, a lot of times LeBron is so dominant. Like when he's dribbling at the top of the key, he's not even looking for a layup. Everybody has to collapse. Oh, everybody panics and get worried, and he's kicking at the shooters.
I say this as one of the guys who got going because when your main guy can get going as well. So I've been in that position. You guys have been the LeBrons. But I've hit, broke an NBA record for threes. When a guy is going, when your star player is going, to me, fuels so much confidence in the team. Because I don't need to have now I can get 3 baskets and they can be so big and be so instrumental. So I feel that when you have guys, when you make Shane Battier take 11 shots in a game, when you take other guys make more shots that they're not accustomed to taking more. I don't think they could do that over 7 games. I think LeBron can get 50 every game you play him one-on-one. He can do it. And it fuels, it's like Superman. It's like, oh, Superman is in the building. So you're like, oh, he's ready. I'm confident, even though I haven't touched it for a while, I'm so confident because my guy is rolling.
But even the game
when King was killing David Robinson.
But I'm saying, even the game he got 50, they were down.
They were close.
But I'm saying I still think it fuels the Shane Battiers,
because they have won the last couple championships with Mike Miller going crazy, Shane Battier going crazy. I think it's going to be an interesting dynamic because as a coach, that's what you get paid to make those decisions.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish, and then when I get to the.
I don't know how I would do that. To be honest with you.
Put a period on the Nets season.